AITA for planting drugs on my crush's abusive boyfriend to get him locked up. Alright, so I know this sounds really bad, but before you grab your pitchforks, hear me out. I, 26M, have been in love with my best friend Lena, 24F, for years. We met in college, and she's one of the kindest, most caring people I've ever known. She's the kind of girl who always sees the best in people, which is exactly why she ended up with Chad, 28M. And yes, his name is actually Chad. Chad is the definition of human garbage. Manipulative as hell. Jealous and controlling. He checked her phone constantly and hated her talking to any guy, including me. Verbally abusive. Always making her feel like she was lucky to have him. Physically, I had no proof, but I'd seen bruises on her arms. And sometimes, when he moved too fast, she flinched. I told her so many times to leave him. I tried everything: logic, support, tough love. But she was stuck. She kept saying, "It's not that bad," or "You don't understand him like I do." I couldn't take it anymore. I decided that if she wouldn't leave him, then I'd just have to remove him myself. The plan. Chad was already an idiot with a record. Nothing major, just a DUI and a bar fight. But that was enough to make any new charge hit harder. I also knew he dabbled in drugs. Not a full dealer, but he always had something on him. So one night, when I ran into him at a party, I made sure he was wasted. We weren't exactly friends, but he tolerated me because Lena still saw me as a close friend. When he was too drunk to care, I slipped an 8-ball of coke into his jacket pocket. Then, to make sure it wasn't just a simple possession charge, I added a few smaller baggies and empty dime bags. That way, when the cops found him, they wouldn't just hit him for possession. They'd nail him for intent to distribute. Once he left the party, I made an anonymous tip to the cops. I knew where he was headed, a bar that cops love to monitor. They did random searches all the time. And, right on schedule, he got busted. Lena called me in tears. Chad got arrested. They're saying he had drugs on him. I played dumb. Acted shocked. Told her that maybe he wasn't the guy she thought he was. At first, she didn't believe it. She was defensive, saying there was no way Chad would be stupid enough to carry that much. But guess what? The evidence was overwhelming. The police found cocaine in bulk, multiple pre-bagged portions, brand new empty baggies, making it look like he was selling. Since he already had priors, the judge denied bail. He was stuck in jail waiting for trial. Meanwhile, Lena was a mess. But she started realizing things. She didn't miss him. She wasn't afraid anymore. She felt safe. And who was there for her? Me. It's been a few months. Lena and I have gotten closer than ever. She even joked the other night, "Maybe I should have just dated you instead." Yes, you should have. But now, she's talking about visiting Chad, saying she owes it to him to hear his side. And that scares the hell out of me. What if he figures it out? What if he tells her something that makes her suspicious? I could lose her forever. So Reddit. Ida. Yeah, I planted the drugs. But it's not like I did it to some innocent guy. He was a walking red flag. I just helped the universe speed things up. So, am I the asshole, or did I just do what had to be done? Update. So things have gotten interesting. If you haven't read my original post, the TLDR is, my best friend, Lena, 24F, was in a toxic, abusive relationship with Chad, 28M. I knew she'd never leave him on her own, so I planted drugs on him, made an anonymous tip, and got him arrested for possession with intent to distribute. At first, Lena was devastated, but now she's thriving without him. The only problem? She started talking about visiting him in jail. That scared me because if he figured out what happened, I'd be screwed. Well, I have some good news. Lena finally visited him. I wasn't thrilled, but I kept my cool and let it play out. When she came back, she told me what went down. Apparently, Chad is freaking out. He doesn't remember how he got the drugs. He admitted he was too drunk that night to remember much. He swears he didn't buy or carry that much. The only thing he does remember is that he was at a party and had a few drinks before heading to the bar. And that's when I realized. He doesn't suspect me at all. He thinks someone must have set him up, but he has no clue who. He even blamed the cops, saying they probably planted it on him because they had it out for him. Lena said he was desperate and paranoid, claiming he was framed. But in classic Chad fashion, he had no proof, so she doesn't believe him. She thinks he's just making excuses because he got caught. And honestly, that works for me. The best part? The visit backfired on Chad. Lena told me she expected to feel something when she saw him. Maybe sadness. Maybe guilt. Instead, she felt nothing. He wasn't charming anymore. He wasn't in control anymore. He was just a desperate loser sitting in a jail cell, blaming everyone but himself. She told me, "I don't know what I ever saw in him." And I gotta tell you, that was the best sentence I've ever heard in my life. She's officially done with him. Where things stand now, Lena and I've gotten closer than ever. She even said, "I wish I had listened to you sooner." Yeah, me too. As for Chad, he's still rotting in jail waiting for trial. His lawyer isn't hopeful, since he had priors, the evidence was solid, and he was too drunk to remember anything. The only thing that worries me? If Chad ever gets out and somehow puts the pieces together, he'll want revenge. But honestly, that's future me's problem. For now, Lena is safe. And that's all that matters. I know a lot of people in the comments were split. Some of you think I did the right thing, others think I'm a massive asshole. But at the end of the day, Lena is finally free. And Chad? Well, he should have made better life choices.